Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to yet another episode with iTrack. Big shout out to everybody that's tapping in, especially all the iTrack fam. Big shout out to all the members. I have a few new members that I will be giving a shout out shortly. And if this is your first time here, what we like to do is take a look at the most interesting and creepy TikToks and kind of evaluate for ourselves whether these are fact or fake. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button for me, smash that subscribe button, and join the iTrack fam. And let's not even wait, let's get right into it.
Chances of that asteroid that's heading towards Earth have just increased to 3.1%. For those of you that don't know, there's an asteroid called YR24. It's heading towards Earth. They originally spotted it in December and they weren't sure if it would hit planet Earth, though it was in path to hit planet Earth. But each week, the chances of it actually hitting us continue to grow. Last week it was at 2.3, now it's at 3.1, and we already know that it's probably going to hit in the UK based upon the Earth's rotation and its trajectory and its speed. NASA said it's too late for them to deflect the asteroid. The asteroid won't be hitting till 2032, so I don't see how that's possible, but I don't know anything about outer space except for an asteroid is heading towards Earth. But just the fact that in December it had a 1.1 chance of hitting Earth, and now here in February we have a 3.1 chance of it hitting Earth, and by the time 2032 comes around, I don't see how we won't be at 100% chance of that asteroid hitting Earth. The devastation is only a city destroyer, it's not a world or planet destroyer, but still, that asteroid's on its way. But what do you guys think?
I think I want to find out what city that asteroid might be headed to and not be anywhere close to that city.
You can't make this stuff up. So Bill Gates wants to build a smart city in Arizona called Belmont. He's spent over $80 million buying 25,000 acres in an area west of Phoenix and west of Buckeye, along with other far-left billionaires, like the guy who owns diapers.com. Coincidentally, now there's been an increased risk of wildfires in the areas surrounding the proposed sites. And you guessed it, now insurance companies are starting to cancel wildfire policies in the areas. Sounds familiar to something else, but I'm not saying anything.
The truth behind the Toronto plane crash is one of the most insane narratives that I've ever seen form on social media. There's a fake story going on right now that the Toronto plane crash is caused by a bunch of things, like Donald Trump putting a stop to the DEI hires, air traffic controllers just not doing their job on purpose. This plane crash happened in Toronto, so anything that the United States government is doing with hires and firing shouldn't affect this airport. But this story definitely goes a lot deeper. I'm about to play you a video that changed my mind on this entire situation. The workers on the plane, I presume this woman, is telling the passengers to put their phones away and stop recording. And you're gonna tell me that there isn't something going on that we don't know? I'm just getting such an icky feeling from all of the news outlets surrounding this plane crash because I believe it goes a lot deeper than any of us know. I believe this story is only just starting to get unveiled, so you're definitely gonna wanna make sure you're following.
Burying oneself alive is a common practice in secret societies in order to gain enhanced metaphysical power. In the book 334 Lies, author Stool describes his initiation into an lodge where he was buried alive for 41 days. He was forced to enter a meditative state, slowing his metabolism enough so he would not starve. During the burial period, he would encounter spirits and entities that would endow secret knowledge and power, as well as force him to confront his shadow self. After surviving the burial, which many don't, he would have enhanced knowledge and spiritual power, such as being able to make diamonds appear out of thin air, as well as transforming rocks into living birds. This ritual reflects ancient practices, such as those performed in the Egyptian pyramids, where pharaohs would wrap themselves up and entomb their bodies within the pyramid. The pyramid's precise geometric alignment with Sirius and other constellations amplified the effects, allowing for profound spiritual transformation. Follow me for more hidden knowledge.
If you've ever been in a relationship where no matter how much you pour into them, they never evolve, you might be with an NPC, a non-playing character in this simulation we call Earth. Let me break it down. NPCs aren't just emotionally unavailable. They are spiritually unawakened, coded to run the same script, repeat the same cycles, and keep you distracted from your ascension. You see, this matrix was designed with placeholders, beings who appear real but lack conscious awareness. They follow the programming of society, never questioning, never growing, and most importantly, never seeing you for who you truly are. And here's the truth. An NPC can never meet you in higher dimensions. They can only love you within the limits of their programming. If you try to wake them up, the system will reset them. Again and again. Ever notice how they can pretend to change but always revert back? That's because their coding doesn't allow expansion beyond the third dimension. So, Chosen One, ask yourself, are you trying to build an empire with a background character? Are you delaying your ascension by trying to rewrite someone's script? Are you mistaking attachment for a spiritual contract that expired lifetimes ago? The Matrix will always test you with distractions disguised as love. But real love, real divine union, it only exists outside the simulation. NPCs aren't your enemies, but they aren't your equals either. Let them play their role while you exit the game and claim your higher timeline. Wake up, unplug.
I'm pretty sure we all know somebody like that. And if you don't know anybody like that, that person just might be you.
We study the higher chakras, when most New Agers and spiritual systems only talk about 7. That's chump change. You're getting gypped, Holy Ones. That's less than half of who you are. So aim higher than 7D, the crown. This is the 8th chakra, gold. Not the throat, this is the throat. Not the heart, this is the heart. This is the thymus. Feel your collarbone. Go to the middle of your collarbone. A little bit down from that, a little bit. There you go. You can feel it. The other one is diagonal. This one's diagonal, this way. The silver one is diagonal that way. They're the only 2 diagonal chakra.
This weird quirk of Michael Jackson's literally explains why there's 14-year-olds buying Lamborghinis with the internet. If you don't know me, I'm Ghost. I teach you the ancient magical secrets so you can be powerful in this shift in consciousness. But what people don't know is that celebrities are actually incredibly powerful manifestors. That's how they've managed to reach heights of experience and power that most people only dream of. And Michael Jackson is no exception, because he knew the power of needing to be decisive and to take action on the inspiration that comes to you as soon as possible. The example that perfectly illustrates this is one day Michael Jackson wakes up at 3 a.m. and he tells his manager he needs to get to the studio immediately because he has a new song to record. Now his manager goes and tells him, Michael, calm down, it's 3 a.m., we'll go tomorrow. And Michael snaps back and he's like, no. We need to go right now. If I don't go record it right now, Prince is going to record this song. And that's because Michael Jackson was well aware that ideas aren't given to people individually. They're given from the collective consciousness to the collective consciousness. And this is why there's numerous occasions of people having the same exact idea or the same exact invention and submitting them to the patent office on the same exact day, with some people's inventions arriving just hours before and them getting the patent. And it's the same way with songs, with business ideas, with anything creative really, is the collective consciousness is seeding it to many, many people, and because they know that only a few people will take action. So this is the same reason why young people are able to make so much money on the internet, while there's older people still stuck in doubting themselves in the same structures, not being able to move forward. Because the young people know that there's going to be some number of people that are going to make a lot of money through anything, through copywriting, drop shipping, coaching, anything that you can imagine. And so because they allow themselves to take action with no fear and just move forward, some of them get chosen and they reach that outcome that they're looking for. Now, if you've made it to the end of the video, I want you to realize that whenever you get an idea, it's essential for you to take action on it as soon as possible, because there have been likely many other people with the same idea that could be executing on it before you and so-called taking your manifestation. So to really ground this into your body, comment speed so you remember to act with speed when you get a new idea. Let me know if this video made sense to you, because I got the inspiration and I took it just like MJ would want me to. So comment speed and let me know if this makes sense. Aloha.
Hey, he gave all the gems right there. If you have an idea, act on it. Don't waste time. Don't procrastinate. Don't hang around procrastinators. Don't hang around people that don't want anything for themselves. And you'll reach every single goal you ever imagined. That's a fact.
Crazy to me that people believe in Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and invisible things powering our whole lives, but we think energy, vibration, and frequency, and all the things that come with it are still mystical nonsense. Why are we not caught up?
Seeing God face to face is seeing things as they are, because God is in all things, and so it is.
Once again, Hollywood is making a mockery of Jesus, y'all. So we all know who she is. Cynthia Erivo, the one that played in The Color Purple in the movie Wicked. She is set to do a stage play portraying as Jesus, called Jesus Christ Superstar, at the Hollywood Bowl. She could be your favorite actress. You could say, oh, she's a great actress or whatever. But for her to accept the role to play Jesus is ridiculous. Time and time again, they always seem to throw shit right in our faces, y'all. This is the person that's playing Jesus. They couldn't even find a man. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. It's like they're trying to reshape historical and religion narratives at this point. It's like their goal is to create controversy that's gonna divide us even further. Shit that can get the pot stirred. Everything they do is for a reason, y'all. You gotta think about it. So while this may be a mockery, what they're gonna try to do is use this to dominate the headlines, get everybody talking. And watch, y'all, some weird shit's finna happen. Some policies finna go through. Something is finna happen. Y'all just wait. But this is crazy, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments.
Heard of the biggest scam in America?
No.
Have you ever gone to a store and tried on clothes in a dressing room and it looked really good so you bought it?
Yeah.
But then when you come home it looks totally different, it doesn't fit right?
Ooh, that's actually happened to me a lot.
So a few years ago on the show Shark Tank, there was a company called Skinny Mirror, and it's a mirror that makes your reflection look 5 to 10 pounds skinnier.
Wait, what?
And there's a theory that retail stores use this in their dressing rooms to increase sales.
Are you serious?
So on their website it shows you what you look like in a normal mirror compared to what you look like in the skinny mirror. And you could tell you look a lot skinnier in the skinny mirror.
Oh my god.
On their website, retail stores can go in and buy it, and this is what it says. The skinny mirror is an ideal solution for dressing rooms. The subtle yet believable slimming reflection will improve the attitude of their customers' self-image and body. And at the end it says increasing overall sales.
Okay, that's actually really upsetting.
Right? So I read this article how skinny mirrors make their money, and majority of their money comes from selling it to clothing stores and hotels.
Are you kidding me?
In Shane Dawson's video, he went to go try this out. So what he did was he took a picture in a dressing room, and then he took a picture at his house in the same position and same outfit. You could tell that he was way slimmer at the retail store compared to his home.
Dude, I'm gonna have like mirror trust issues.
Right?
This is crazy. According to the Social Security database, this is the amount of people alive in each age bracket. Elon Musk brought this to our attention by tweeting this out tonight, and because there are millions of people registered over the age of 150, he said maybe Twilight is real and there are a lot of vampires collecting Social Security. It's insane when you look at these numbers. There are 3.4 million people registered between the age of 120 and 129 years old. Look at 130 to 139, almost 4 million. There's actually more 130-year-olds than 120-year-olds. Absolutely wild. Another 3.5 million supposedly people the age of 140 to 149. And the list goes on, even showing, look, there must have been some sort of a baby boom 220 years ago, because there's 1,000 people, according to Social Security, in the United States between the age of 220 and 229 years old. And there's even someone alive at 360. And obviously not okay if these individuals are receiving Social Security checks. So what do you think? Are vampires real, or is this money going somewhere else? As always, let me know down below.
I think that the people that were stealing never thought in their wildest dreams that Elon Musk would get appointed to some chair in office that would allow him to look through all the records. They just got too comfortable. You know what I mean? They didn't get it while the game was good, and now they're about to be gone for a long time.
Jay-Z allegedly had a physically intimate relationship with his rap mentor Jaz-O, and the last time a reporter questioned him about the relationship, the reporter almost ended up dead. Everything in this video is alleged, not confirmation of validity of allegations. The last time a reporter questioned this permanent A-list rapper's relationship with his permanent A-list rapper mentor, the reporter nearly ended up dead. Yes, it was schmexual. And again, this is allegedly Jaz-O and Jay-Z. And the related headline reads, Rock Boys, a look at Jay-Z and Jaz-O's journey from brothers to beef to business partners. The boys are back in business, but here's what you should know about their questionable past. Hip-hop heads at large are rejoicing at the official reunion of Jay-Z and his former mentor Jaz-O. The uninitiated or younger generations might not be as familiar with Jaz-O and the role he played in Jay-Z's career. Here's a brief rundown on why their recently announced Roc Nation deal is a historic one. Sean Carter and Jonathan Burks met as kids in Marcy projects and quickly bonded over their love of rhyming. I connected with an older kid who had a reputation as the best rapper in Marcy, wrote Jay in his 2010 book Decoded. Jazz was his name, and we started practicing our rhymes into a heavy-ass tape recorder with a makeshift mic attached. They would freestyle and battle for hours together, pushing the limits of one another's vocabularies and backing each other up in local battles on the block.
It seems like when it rains, it pours for these celebrities. When you hear one scandal come out, 10 or 15 more will follow right behind it. It's pretty wild.
Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why many of these statues from Antiquity are missing their hands and feet? I mean, it's not just one, it's many. And if you haven't been down this rabbit hole, I'm about to blow your mind. But let me keep going for just a little bit longer here. Do you think that it is a coincidence that nearly every statue of Antiquity is missing their hands? I mean, it's almost as if it were done on purpose. Don't you think? Could it possibly be because we have records that told us that there were giant beings that once existed with 6 fingers and 6 toes? The Nephilim. And these were beings that came from the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki were apparently the moon people in native traditions that had come down from the moon to try and help us recreate the world after the flood. Is this starting to sound a little familiar? Now those people, if you want to call them people, ended up mating with the normal people, and they gave birth to the Nephilim. And the Nephilim were the ones who eventually were told to leave. Oh look, they forgot this one. Now, I'm not claiming to be the one to have originated this research. If you go on the other app, YT, and check out a video from someone named My Lunch Break, he's going to blow your mind even further. Not just with that video, which is episode 113, but go back and watch every single episode. Just do yourself that favor. This world is not what we've been told it is. And if you believe that it has been, you've got a lot more waking up to do. It's worth looking into, I promise. I love you.
But that you are this universe, and you are creating it at every moment. Because you see, it starts now. It didn't begin in the past. There was no past. See, if the universe began in the past, when that happened, it was now. See? Well, it's still now. And the universe is still beginning now, and it's trailing off like the wake of a ship from now. And the wake of the ship fades out, so does the past. You can look back there to explain things, but the explanation disappears. You'll never find it there. Things are not explained by the past. They're explained by what happens now. That creates the past. And it begins here. That's the birth of responsibility.
Travels slowly across the curvature of the Earth. Initially, some thought this was just debris or a satellite, but as it reached the middle of the screen, it suddenly stops and seems to hover for a moment. The object remains stationary for several seconds. Then, without warning, it suddenly rises upward. After rising and then hovering again, the object suddenly moves off at high speed to the left of the screen.
Feeling is the secret. It is not enough to merely visualize or think about your desire. You must feel it as real. You must generate the feeling that would be yours if your desire were already a fact in the outer world. Let me tell you something about the nature of consciousness that few understand. Your consciousness is not confined to your physical body. It extends throughout the universe. Therefore, when you assume a state in consciousness, you are literally rearranging the entire universe to match your assumption.
People still don't believe in aliens. We're not alone. You never were alone. The universe is much greater than you think it is. And there will be a bunch of religious people calling all of these demons. Oh, those aren't aliens, they're demons. You got it backwards, homie. What do you think demons are? They're aliens from other worlds, other dimensions. They have their own histories. They have their own agendas, like the reptilian agenda. What about the Anunnaki agenda? Some of you have visions, some of you see these beings, some of you guys are interacting with some type of race of beings.
I mean, what?
It would be incredibly easy to call that cap, but how did he do it then? Let me know in the comments what you think.
Bruh, I'm just scrolling on Twitter, and I don't normally scroll on Twitter, only for a few reasons. But I come across Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, bruh. How the fuck, how does she start looking like this? Like, bro, look. Like, how did that even happen? And I know I wasn't tripping, bro. Look at what even the people saying this. Even the people saying this. It ain't just me, man. So don't make it seem like I'm just, you know what I'm saying? But how? Just don't even look like a woman.
A lot of UFO videos where you can hear the people who are taking the video of the UFO. You can hear them conversing on the audio track, and they and the people around them are literally negotiating the meaning of what they're seeing.
I've been documenting these strange sightings since they first appeared over Middle America 5 years ago.
I was in a whole rabbit hole about it, right? And I was like, okay, maybe a coincidence, whatever. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna look up what was the first chip they ever created. That chip was called sycamore. If you look that up, that's also a tree, the sycamore tree. That's also associated with witchcraft and magic. It even goes on to say that it was a sacred tree that connected the underworld, earth, and heaven.
And that's how you know we're in the age of information. People even looking up the meaning of trees now. That's pretty wild.
They're all NPCs, non-player characters, or we're all avatars of players, which I call the RPG version, or the role-playing game version.
In this version, a more expanded, more fundamental, and more primordial soul is voluntarily porting itself into low-level reality.
It goes back to Plato, maybe the myth of air or something. He's sort of zapped into a body, you experience anamnesis where you forget your sort of former primordial self. But there is that self, and that self has real agency in this world. So I think that's more life affirming.
I do too, and that's why I tend to lean more towards the RPG version. But it also, one of the reasons why we can't remember is perhaps that's the way the game was set up.
Mysterious drones have now been reported over Camp Pendleton. Between December 6th and 15th, there were 6 instances of unmanned aerial systems entering airspace over the Marine base, according to the War Zone.
The layout of Washington, D.C. is literally Egyptian magic. Obviously, in Egyptian mythology, Plutarch, he talks about the Osiris story, how Set, he chopped up Osiris into 13 pieces, and Set had 72 conspirators that helped him do that. And Osiris is then later chopped into 13 pieces. Isis finds 12. The 13th she can't find is his phallus. And then she makes, a magic phallus to impregnate herself. And from that, she gives birth to Horus. And the magic phallus becomes the obelisk. And that goes into some deep occult imagery. So the obelisk is facing the Capitol building. And the Capitol building represents the dome of Isis. And the dome of Isis is the pregnant belly of Isis, which she's pregnant with Horus, and the obelisk is obviously the magical phallus, the erect phallus of Osiris. And in front of the obelisk, the Washington Monument, you have a reflecting pool. And in Egyptian magic, essentially, the obelisk in the reflecting pool draws upon the energy of the sun god Ra. And it's this whole ritual.
The atoms that make up your body underwent a fascinating cosmic journey before ending up in you. Contrary to previous beliefs, most of these atoms, including the carbon that forms the backbone of our being, likely spent millions of years outside the Milky Way, riding a cosmic conveyor belt before returning to our galaxy and eventually becoming part of us. This revelation stems from the discovery of the circumgalactic medium, a vast network of cosmic currents that transport matter between galaxies. While it was known that heavier elements like oxygen and iron could be expelled from galaxies by supernovae and then carried back by these currents, it was previously thought that carbon, being lighter, was unable to make this journey. However, new research using data from the Hubble telescope has shown that carbon is not only present in these intergalactic currents, but is also one of the most abundant elements. This means that the carbon in our bodies, along with other elements, likely spent a significant amount of time outside the Milky Way before being incorporated into the solar system and eventually into us. This discovery could help us understand galactic evolution. The circumgalactic medium acts as a recycling system, allowing galaxies to continuously form new stars by drawing in matter expelled from others. Understanding how this cosmic conveyor belt functions will help scientists unravel the processes that drive star formation and ultimately determine the fate of galaxies. So, the next time you look at your hand, remember that the atoms within it have embarked on an epic intergalactic journey, traveling vast distances and enduring cosmic forces before becoming a part of you.
I don't hear anything and something's moving in erratic ways. It's in the shape of a jelly bean, but the interior was like plasma. It was just going like this, you know.
Chris Frederick has been a teacher for over 2 decades, and he currently works for a metro area school district. He showed us this video from January 25th. He's in his driveway off Northwest 21st in the Gatewood district. He said it all started that night when his wife wanted to go to Brahms, so they walked out to their car. But after a few minutes, neighbors were calling each other.
He started calling neighbors, and before long we were all standing out in the street and had our phones out.
Chris has been a drone pilot for about 10 years. He started working with them when he and his wife were realtors in Ardmore several years ago. He fired it up and attempted to fly his drone to get a better look at the object.
The sky at night, you have to have aviation lights or it's not legal.
But strange things started happening.
My controller talks to me and it said unable to take off, electromagnetic interference.
After he recalibrated a few times, he eventually got it in the air and took these pictures of the object, which he estimates is around 1,500 feet off the ground. His drone was at about 400 feet when he took the pictures.
It concerns me that something was up there at night at that altitude that could have been a hazard.
He said his video function wouldn't work, which was odd. And there was something else. Only about 4 minutes and 18 seconds of flight time.
It had a fresh battery in it. It has a 35-minute flight life. And as soon as I took those 3 pics, my controller said a low battery, return to home.
Chris and his wife kept seeing that object for about 4 hours that night. We showed his pictures and videos to experts at OU for a second opinion.
What it is, I don't know, right? But I think I would approach this question as what is it likely to be, right? So that's where I'm coming from.
Professor Killick teaches astrophysics and cosmology at the university.
From the Plaza District, it's south of them because we can see the Orion constellation in the background, so we know their point of view.
He acknowledged the object looks strange, but ultimately, it's likely it's just another drone in the sky.
I could see a red streak. Now, I don't know if it's because, I could imagine if it's a long exposure, I don't know if it is, I don't know how long the exposure was, but you know, a drone could have a red light on top of it, right? I mean, our planes have red lights on them.
We took a look at the metadata, or digital picture information of the drone pictures. You can take a look at that info for all the images right here in Oklahoma City. Jason Berger, KOCO 5 News.
Well, that professor didn't help much now, did he? I mean, I think he knows what we know, but we are not allowed to even say it on the internet.
What can you tell me about red mercury, how it's made, what it's used for, and why it's suppressed?
Why red mercury? What it is, how it's made, and why it's suppressed. Red mercury is one of the most controversial and mysterious substances in modern history, surrounded by secrecy, disinformation, and suppression. Some claim it's a hoax. Others say it's a highly classified energy or weapons material that could revolutionize technology or destroy the control grid. Let's break it down. 1. What is red mercury? The official story, a hoax or a disinformation campaign? Mainstream sources claim red mercury does not exist, calling it a hoax used to lure arms dealers into fake transactions. Governments, intelligence agencies, and military organizations have denied its existence, while rumors persist in classified circles. Why would a hoax be so heavily classified? If it didn't exist, why the secrecy? The esoteric and suppressed knowledge perspective. Red mercury is believed to be a highly dense, superconductive, and energy-reactive material with unique properties. It allegedly allows nuclear fusion at room temperature.
This is how you can manipulate people without saying a word. Want people to open up? Just stay silent after they speak. Most will fill the silence with more details. Want to build trust fast? Speak with your palms open. It makes you look honest and approachable. Want to appear more confident? Blink slowly. It makes you look calm, in control, and powerful. Want to make a great first impression? People judge you in just 7 seconds. Stand tall, smile, and make eye contact. Want to build instant rapport? Match the strength of their handshake. It creates a connection right away.
Hey, all gems, something for you to marinate on now.
A supercomputer has determined when humanity will go extinct, and a date has already been pinpointed. I'll walk you through how this was done, but that date is going to come a lot earlier than that. The first thing you have to know is that 99.99% of all species that have ever existed on Earth have already gone extinct. The extinction rate has increased to about 10,000 times the normal natural extinction rate in the last 100 years. A lot of that is just because humans are incredibly destructive creatures. We are destructive even to ourselves. They claim 250 million years. That will be the point at which the continents will come together and turn into the next Pangea. At that point, the world will be inhospitable to mammals as we know them. We'll see consistent temperatures that are going to be around 120 plus degrees year-round. Now that does kind of just seem like an average day in Australia. But it's very unlikely humans would live for 250 million years, and here's why. If we're going to be more honest about it, the average species lifespan is about 1 million years on Earth. It can be longer, like 10 million if you're an insect, but it varies. That means that humans are already running out of time. We have a little bit of a boost to maintain our humanity. Because there have been so many severe bottlenecks, we're all relatively closely related. However, there are different ways that a species can go out. They can evolve into something new. Or perhaps a more likely answer to how we will go out is that we will burn ourselves out. We can't seem to get our shit together as humans, to be honest. So we may fight each other, we may see an end from something a little bit more mundane. If our populations become fragmented and our technology does not allow for the kind of travel that we have today, we may end up being quite literally blown back to the Stone Age. That would give us the same separation of populations that allowed things like Denisovians and Neanderthals to exist as separate from humans.
Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books. I appreciate you guys for stopping by yet again and watching another one with me. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Smash that subscribe button and join the iTrack fam. And I will definitely catch you on the next one.